Hello again. Hashtag #ArtForAspie, my art and my Asperger's, explains some points about artistic expression being a powerful drive in the person with autism, in my case as a person with Asperger's syndrome. I am an artist, so to fix stuff I paint a picture or do a drawing, write a story and make sculptures. I have a prodigious memory and an eclectic interest in the natural world and portraiture. My short-term memory is deplorable, but I can remember my life at 3. Stuff being all the things, traits, behaviours and events that art making can provide an insight on what it is to be a neurodiverse human. I live with a degree of meaning deafness and meaning blindness. People who know me can become quite disturbed because I cannot immediately understand them, which produces frustration in me too. So I make art, for example, I paint a picture, then I discover the meaning of the picture. I don't close the door to meaning. Some subjects may not be finished for quite a while until something appears. Because perception becomes habitual, it becomes automatic. Eventually, most people learn how to hold a pencil or a brush and our habits retreat into the unconscious. Such habituation explains why we can leave certain phrases unfinished, and sometimes these can be expressed as symbols as we see in algebra. Aspies are good at seeing patterns. Life is an uncomfortable long ride for me. Although there is great diversity in everyone's path, there are times when these paths cross and join for a while. Many times I have withdrawn from reality while I had sudden obsessions with art. Some lasted for decades. Times were better when I found others who appreciated my work. The important reason I do draw, paint and create is to make a safe place for myself. However, as I aged, I was subjected to the attacks of hostile people who, like all crazy makers, destroyed something that changed nothing for the better for anyone. Everyone lost. It has taken years for me to rebuild my safe space, and that is fragile. A noisy alcoholic neighbour destroys my peace. Intrusive bad memories attack my sleep. Careless comments from others can unsettle me for days, and my immune system is under attack by cancer and general aging. I find that if I can control my environment, and as I prefer my own company, then I can return to my artwork. Perhaps I am unusual for an artist with Asperger's because I focus intently on people's faces and can grab their emotional state, regardless of the actual source, whether from life or a photograph. I have always been able to do this. What is most distinct in my artwork is the difference in ideas. I see things and invent creatures. I make unusual strokes with my brushes and use my hands. As well, I can borrow my target's emotions and reflect it back, which people then interpret to suit themselves. I have always enjoyed drawing and making artworks from a very early age. I have a spontaneous approach and have used any type of materials I could adapt. I apply paint and something eventually happens. If I have to paint it as it was required at art college, my works were very stilted and lacked the freedom of structure that reflected my creativity, but rather reflected my ability to focus. A big problem for Asperger's is we are targets for abuse, as autism affects our social and emotional development. For a long time my artwork was popular, but I lacked confidence partly due to the childhood and teen abuse I suffered. Jealous crazy makers did a lot of psychological damage to me. I did not see the monsters coming. I did not know how to defend myself because some of my mentors were either manipulative or just wanted my art for money. Of course, neurotypicals can get a rough deal too, but for the neurodiverse, the recovery may involve self-harm or an overwhelming need to escape from the abusers. We just lose. Trying to fix my way out was not an option this time. Instead, I went into hibernation and went back to further education, which although distracted me, I just did not enjoy. The bullies there had an easy target. Aspies have a difficulty separating self as context from self as content. I took years to reinvent myself. Trusting others isn't something I do now, and that offends many. My sense of self comes from my enjoying my inventiveness. something Aspies are good at. While I no longer care about the attachments of others, which means trying to please them, I am not my artwork. You don't own me because you have a piece of my work. Rather, the true me is the aspect of me who experienced all of these changing roles, changing feelings and changing thoughts. By reaching inside, I can share the process of creating. I share my creations with you. Some people are grateful and some people are not. So I share this with you too. The world is not a friendly place for me. Perhaps I have been too often in the wrong places at the wrong time. My family failed dramatically. I suffer hypervigilance and needed predictability and routine, which can lead persons into some brilliant dead-end places. For example, silly pseudoscience and awful relationships. There are many clashing perspectives on autism and what to do with people who are diagnosed. I just wanted to make artwork and be left alone. Many people have noted the creative ways I deal with situations, and equally there are those who have scapegoated their failings onto me. However, when I do my artwork, I see what I can do rather than the social limits of my autism. Some days I like to paint mad things in the shade of a giant mango tree, then retreat to my unused dinner table to paint into the dark hours. Making art is a means to an end. I am not stubborn as many thoughtless people suggest. I just need time to change in my own time. Thank you for viewing. Please like, subscribe, comment and share. You will be supporting a regional Australian artist. Thumbs up.